All right, it's been a while. This is my Gen X story part 4, and we have reached 1977. Living in Fox Lake Hills, we've just celebrated the bicentennial. 1977 was an incredible year for Gen Xers. Many of us remember where we were in May and June of 1977, probably several times in a theater, a darkened theater, watching a movie that came out on May 25th, 1977. I remembered that when Star Wars came out, I didn't know anything about it. I wasn't paying attention to anything at all about that. I had just started reading science fiction because of my dad. I was reading Isaac Asimov and Robert Heinlein, but it was ungodly hot in June of that year where we live in Fox Lake Hills. And my dad loaded my brother and I in the car and let's go to the movies, get out of the hot. We didn't have air conditioning at the house. So we went over to the Genesee Theater in Waukegan, Illinois to see this movie called Star Wars that we pretty much knew nothing about, just to escape the heat. But that changed my life, my brother's life, and so many other people's lives. I can remember seeing that movie in the theaters in 1977, all that summer, dozens of times. I would go with friends. I would go with my family. I'd go by myself when my parents would drop me off. It says, spend some time here while we go shopping. I'd go see Star Wars, and it was it changed my life. Everything that I am today is a lot of it is because of Star Wars, and seeing that movie in the summer of 1977. It has since been reworked by George Lucas. Of course, the sequels and the prequels that came after Lucas sold the rights to Disney, and you can argue the good and bad of the prequels and the sequels and the television series, but nothing beats seeing that first movie. It was just called Star Wars. It wasn't even A New Hope yet, and seeing it in the theater. I can remember. I think it was either that December or the December after that. Maybe it was the summer after that. The advertisements started going up. One of the best things that ever happened is about to happen again. They re-released the movie in theaters for 2 weeks only. It must have been a couple years after, because it was in the lead up to The Empire Strikes Back, which in 1980, everybody knew that was coming, and I knew it was coming. And after I saw Star Wars, that's when I got into classical music. I played the album down to the nubs of my needle on my record player, and cassettes and 8-track tapes, and read the book, the novelization, which was, the book said it was written by George Lucas, but actually it was probably written by Alan Dean Foster, ghostwritten with Lucas's name on it. But that 1977 was a great year because of Star Wars. However, there was something else that happened that year. I went to a youth gathering in Indiana. I think it was at Purdue University, a Christian youth gathering with our youth group at church. And we were in confirmation at the time. And while we were there, one of the older kids who was in 8th grade, and I was in the 7th grade, I think it was. 7th grade that year. He was in the 8th grade. He had brought a copy of the album 2112 by Rush, and we listened to it. And I never looked back. I still listen to every single Rush recording. Just about every day, I listen to a song by Rush. 2112 was the album that introduced me to Rush. After that, then I went back and I bought Rush, Farewell to Kings, Caress of Steel in the album called Archives. So you got all 3 LPs in one package. A Farewell to Kings, when that came out, I was all over it. Hemispheres, I was all over that. That's a whole new story, a different episode of this Gen X story of talking about Rush and the impact Geddy Lee, Neil Peart, and Alex Lifeson had on my early life in the late 70s and early 80s. But that was the year 1977. I'll save 78 and 79 for part 5 coming up. Hopefully not as many months in between on these Gen X stories. Thank you for watching so far. I hope that you like, share from the bottom up, get this out. Love sharing Gen X stories. Love to hear your Gen X stories. So get up there, Gen X, and let's record this for future generations so that our stories are not lost. It's the beauty of having this platform because now we're going to be remembered forever. That's my Gen X story part 4. Go back and listen to part 1, 2, and 3 if you haven't done so already, and share it. I'll talk to you later.